Sabah al-khair. In this video, we're going to talk about how to define and describe people, places, and things using an adjectival sentence, what we call in Arabic, jumlat as-siffa. Siffa is actually the Arabic word for adjective. And when we use jumlat as-siffa, what we're doing is we are further describing an indefinite noun that has already been introduced in a sentence. Let's take a look at these examples of English language sentences. I have a sister whose name is Maryam. She is a professor who teaches at Smith College. I remember it from a book that I read. In each of these sentences, we have an indefinite noun, and then we have a connecting word, whose, who, that, followed by additional information that's giving us extra context, right? In Arabic, we need a complete second sentence, a jumla ismiya or a jumla fa'liya. In English, you'll notice that after this break, after the whose, the who, the that, we're provided additional information in a way that is not quite a complete sentence, right? I read, well, it could be a complete sentence, but we don't have an object for our verb. Teaches at Smith College, we're missing our subject, right? Name is Maryam, we don't have that pronoun at the beginning telling us who or what we're talking about. In Arabic, we need those things. We need to insert an additional pronoun that refers back to that noun that's being introduced, back to that indefinite sister or professor or book. So let's take some examples. If we wanted to translate this sentence into Arabic, what we would literally need to say is, I have a sister, her name is Maryam. And we're going to sort of lose that connecting word in the middle. So we need to add her. So we will have two separate complete sentences, but they'll be written as one long sentence to convey this idea. Like so. I have a sister. لي أخت. اسمها مريم. So we don't have a comma, we don't have a period. We have two sentences that could stand on their own, but in order to convey this sense, we say لي أخت اسمها مريم. A second complete sentence with a pronoun that refers back to that indefinite noun, the sister, the أخت. Let's take this. She is a professor who teaches at Smith College. She is a professor, that's simple enough. هي أستاذة who teaches at Smith College. Now, in order to create a second complete sentence, that jumlat as-siffa, we're going to need that pronoun she teaches at Smith College, and we're going to lose our connecting word in the middle, right? Now, we know that in Arabic, we don't need to include a subject pronoun, a separate subject pronoun in front of a verb necessarily. The verb, the prefix-suffix combination on a present tense verb often will give us the information we need about the subject of the sentence. So in Arabic, we could say هي أستاذة تدرس في جامعة سميث. And again, we have a complete sentence here, a complete jumla fa'liya, and our subject, that extra pronoun, is included in the conjugation for tudarris, she teaches, right? When we see tudarris, we know that we're referring to that feminine third person noun, the ustadha. Let's take one more example. I remember it from a book that I read. Now, once more, we need a pronoun that refers back to that book that we're describing, that we're providing additional information about. And in this case, the book is not the subject of the verb. The book is actually the object of the verb, right? What did I read? I read it. That book, the one I'm talking about. So in Arabic, I would render it like this. I remember it. أتذكره. I remember it, object pronoun. من كتاب قرأته. So this who, I read it, right? What did I read? The kitab, the book that we're talking about. The same structure that we use when we say I remember it. So literally we're saying I remember it from a book that I read it. In English, if we actually rendered all of these sentences literally in English, the way we're doing here, they would be considered run-on sentences, right? Incorrect grammar, redundancy, unnecessary pronouns. In Arabic, we need to include this when we're talking about an indefinite noun. This is a very important structure for reading comprehension. A lot of the time when you're reading a descriptive text that's introducing a new idea or talking about a new thing, it will be described with jumla al-siffa, so it's important to be able to recognize it as you're reading. One big tell, one big clue is when we have a noun, an indefinite noun, followed by a verb. There's a very good chance that what that verb is describing is going to be the indefinite noun, and we're going to have a jumla al-siffa structure.